What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning us back in. I'm John, and like always, this is my brother Brett, and this is
Yup.
Nonsense Now. So we had a lot of success with our last episode on conspiracy theories, flat earthers, things like that. So we wanted to touch back on that subject again. There's just so much still to talk about flat earthers. We can go on and on and on. But there's also other conspiracies in general. This motherfucker over here has a tinfoil hat. Very, very pristinely made, I have to say. I mean, is that another hat underneath that, or did you just mold tinfoil over a hat?
This is custom crafted, actually. I took a little bit of time. I was like, you know what? The modern day tinfoil hat. In this case, baseball
Is
cap.
there such thing as that? Is there?
I mean, to me, knowing how electronics work in general,
Oh no.
so a tinfoil hat would just make you more susceptible to signals, you would think. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I did craft this hat myself, and maybe we'll get to a point where we'll just like mail it to a subscriber or something. I don't know.
That's a good idea. So anybody, if you want his tinfoil hat, throw some comments on the YouTube or Facebook.
Tell you what,
we'll have the links in the description for the episode.
Yeah. we're gonna do it like this. The 11th person to send us an email at nonsensenowstudios@gmail.com with the subject of modern day tinfoil hat will get the hat. I'll be in touch with you.
Why the 11th? What's so special about number 11?
I don't know. It's just number 10 just seems too normal, and we're not normal. So
what not the first? I mean, the first person could have been a thing.
Gotta get them responding first.
Oh, I see how it is. It's a ploy. I see.
It's a ploy.
It's all right.
It's like what our buddy told us in our previous episode. It's pandering.
Also, I'm sure you guys notice Mr. Chris isn't here. Our resident guest is not here today. He couldn't make it. That's okay though. We'll get him back on another. I enjoy him on. So I mean,
he's a cool dude. He really is.
He's a funny guy. All right. Well, you got the tinfoil hat on. You're setting up.
You're not penetrating me with your flat earth crap today, son. You see what I'm saying? I am ready. And that 11th, person to email us is going to be ready too. I'm going to make a replica of this one. I'm going to have to.
A replica? You should make them. What is it? A 10-gallon? Isn't that what they're called? 10-gallon hats? You should make a 10-gallon hat style one. Make a tinfoil fedora. No, you have to make a tinfoil fedora. Just because saying that.
Dude, actually, that sounds really dope. I'm inspired to do that, and it's going to happen now.
You should make your whole own line of tinfoil.
I'm still serious about that haunted or abandoned location. We're doing that.
No,
we're doing that. We're doing it.
Call me a pansy. Call me whatever you want. I'm a firm believer.
How do you know if it's
haunted? You don't mess with those things. I don't care if it is or isn't. You don't mess with forces unknown. No.
Well, do you or do you not? I think mankind does it every day with technology. Forces unknown, like 5G towers and the conspiracy that it's just brain washing.
5G towers. There's I know like the National Weather Service and stuff like that. All the people who make projections of weather formations and patterns and things like that, I think are worried. Some article I read somewhere saying they're worried that like 5G communications and stuff like that are actually going to maybe interfere with that. I have no idea. I haven't read into that. Again, also too, guys, we do not in any way, shape, or form think we're scientists. Think we know more than somebody else. All of our views are literally what flows out of our mouth. So I mean, if we offend
look at our show title, if you thought you're going to get some concrete information from that, I will say though, figure out how clickbait works.
The things we talk about. I will say though, the things we talk about, we obviously do some research on. I mean, we look into these things to some extent, but don't take our word.
Things are fun when you can poke a lot of holes in them and watch somebody else try to fill them in. That makes it pretty interesting for me, and vice versa for you.
It does. All right. Well, you're obviously you got to deliver with the tinfoil hat, so you're already got the tinfoil hat on, and you look prepared. What are your talking points? What's your subject?
All right, so simulation theory is like my number one subject. But before we start talking about simulation theory, it's kind of interesting because I was watching American Dad the other night, and
Oh God.
it was a conspiracy theory episode. I was like,
Ironic.
how perfect is this, man? And like literally, like Francine like hears about all these conspiracies that are going on because Roger's in the attic having like conspiracy.
Roger's conspiracy in his own.
Right, he is a
alien.
But she started to like wonder if all this stuff was true. So she asked Stan, is there any truth to this? And he's like, oh no, obviously no, it's all people making it up, blah blah blah, and and she, he sits her down in the living room, and she turns on the TV, and he's like, all right, yeah, sit down, watch your morning mimosa. It's a TV show that she watches, and he's like, I'll be right back, and he like hauls ass out of the house and like shows up to like the morning mimosa studio, and he like apparently owns the studio and everything. and he's like telling all the people, all right, well, she figured out a lot of scary things, a lot of scary theories, we need to cuten it up, fluff it up, make it cute, and make her forget. And she basically finds out she followed him because he had forgotten something, and found out that her life was a conspiracy at that point. Because her husband was just trying to
I have a feeling this is somewhat in tune to your simulation theory.
Somewhat. Simulation theory isn't my theory by any means. It's a well-known theory. Elon Musk.
I've actually never even heard of it. So, and
Elon Musk actually buys into this from what he said. Basically, it's the belief that we are a computer simulation.
I mean, who's to say we're not?
Right. Well, you think about how we're like always trying to get deeper and deeper into like virtual reality, and we're always trying to get more immersed into that world. And like eventually, like you had mentioned, you would love like a Sword Art Online world. And
if you could, for anybody that's an anime lover who knows about Sword Art Online, that is one of my favorite animes. Obviously, besides some others, but Sword Art Online is fucking awesome. If I could have a full dive headset that fully immersed me into a world like that, and I was disconnected from the real world for that time being, I mean, I may never come out. That I would be stuck in that forever. That's a dream to me. If it ever happens, I'll beta test. Call me out, game developers. I'll be there for you.
I'll mail them postcards like every year just to like update them a little
it's
bit.
Like greetings from Daytona
real
Beach.
Things that have gone on. He's over there like in this peachy glory world, and I'm over here in this like broken down, distraught world. That's I
mean, isn't that basically what
like the machines are keeping you alive? Just keep you as like their eternal mind slave because you have a free flowing conscious, and they can like feed off of that.
Oh, you're getting complicated on me now. I'm just talking playing video games.
But hey. But if you're in like what we talked about before, empathy or just compassion in general, like that's something like generally a computer's not really capable of doing because it doesn't have a sense of feeling.
Maybe not yet, but who's to say they won't? We don't know when we create something so advanced that it can self-think.
Right. So like imagine we immerse ourselves so deep into this virtual reality technology that eventually we do get to that point, and maybe
I don't want to be around when we get to that point because that's when they turn on us.
But maybe we've already done that. Maybe that's the whole simulation thing. Like maybe
like a set of laws and robotics that you don't do.
Simulation theory is more on board with like a higher power life form, or
like aliens,
or a computer itself.
Aliens, they're real.
Us. Right.
Like that South Park episode. Yes, I love that episode.
I think aliens are a pretty intriguing subject to me because
we're aliens to another species. Come on.
Right. Like anything that came technically from not Earth would be alien to us.
Exactly.
So let's, not to get biblical on you, but angels and demons, maybe they're the aliens.
They could be. I mean, if you look at the Bible in a very literal sense, a lot of that stuff, if that was looked at in a literal sense, which is what a lot of people do, I mean, that's what Ancient Aliens is on the History Channel. And I feel like, that's helped, like, kind of like open people's eyes in the world, at least more to, maybe what we've been told our whole lives isn't exactly true.
Like,
I mean, take it in a literal aspect, though. I mean, if you like, I think there's lines in some of the verses that say, the booms from the chariot, golden chariots coming from the clouds, created a monstrous thunder or something like that. Like that. That's something. That's a feeling. That's something you felt. You don't describe like rumbling as something you heard. You know what I mean? It's not something you would just describe it in a manner that wouldn't be like you were there. And I don't know if this sentence makes any sense to anybody that I've been rambling on about, but like I just truly feel like if you describe something like that,
lost in a personal thought right now. I'm pretty sure.
I was kind of got a little intersection going on in my head there. But ultimately,
nonsense, man.
If you're if you're describing something in a manner like that, it was almost like you were there. Because why would you describe it like that otherwise?
Right, almost like they were able to just perceive the actual future, like they were shown what the future was like, or maybe they were, even better yet, time traveled to the future to see.
I believe in time travelers. That shit's real. There's some pictures I was looking at. I was reading conspiracy stuff because this flat.
You think about like when people say like angels came and saw them, like.
Yeah, I mean,
alien. That's alien as far as I'm concerned.
I think Hindu religion has a lot of stuff like that. Hindu religion's got a bunch of stuff like that. That it's like where the gods would come from the skies and actually interact with the people, of this world, and then tell them the secrets.
Like we just like progress into like putting ourselves into a computer simulation, like Sword Art Online, and then just keep doing that over and over, like over and over and over. Like you get into the simulation. And then you're kind of like a reborn consciousness at that point, and you kind of just go through and eventually just do the same thing, and you're just like in a simulation, in another simulation.
Maybe we've been podcasters or radio personnel in another simulation.
It's completely possible.
I think so.
Possible. I think the simulation theory is really intriguing. Like it, with all theories. Their theories, and you can't be proven or disproven.
No, but I mean, I can jabber on about it on here at least.
Some of them can be disproven, but we're not gonna.
I mean, that's one of Flat Earthers' favorite things. They're always like, prove it, prove it, prove it. It's always one of their things is prove it. But I will say, I will give credit to my new infatuation with Flat Earthers to my fiance, Alicia. She actually. It was just something she caught on to that was fascinating to her as well because it was just ridiculous. But just watching it, it really opens your eyes as to how easily I think people can be manipulated. And when you can manipulate enough people.
I tell you today that I haven't told you in our private conversations. What happened today? All right, so I was on talking to random people today, right?
Yeah.
I
gotta hear this. This dude.
So this dude, like he at first he has like this crazy rig, like he's sitting there dabbing, dude. He's got this crazy dab rig set up.
Dabberooskies.
Yeah, and he's got like a reclamation thing, like with a drop down on it, and he's got like a nail that's like constantly like 711 degrees.
Paycheck on.
Yeah, like he's got the whole ray. Like I'm like, dude, I didn't even see you light it. He's like, oh yeah, this nail stays at 711 degrees. All right, well that's cool. Anyways, long story short, to the conspiracy part of it, he told me that Jesus was actually marijuana.
Jesus is marijuana.
He told me that. Or not, he didn't say Jesus. He said Christ. That Christ was marijuana, and he said that hemp was
okay.
Boris or
Bale.
Bale. Was it Bale? He said hemp was Bale and Christ was like the flower.
Okay.
And
I mean,
flower
interpretation of it. Who knows? I mean, I'm not.
Well, he pulled like certain biblical verses talking about how like through him all things are made, and all things are made through him, and like he started saying how like clothes and like we consume marijuana, we can wear hemp clothes, we can build hemp houses and boats, and we can travel. I mean, I was like, man, that's the craziest shit I've heard today. I mean, Flat Earthers aside, you guys have just lost a position for crazy in my book.
Damn, that's pretty intense. I mean, on another subject, I hit a bird the other day driving my car. It like bounced right off my hood, and he was okay. Saw him fly away. But to be fair, he flew into me. But I feel like I just had to say that we're talking about things that happened in our day. So you heard some crazy theories from a dude that was stoned off his ass. I mean, he was probably in a different dimension in his world.
Dude, I'm pretty sure he was, dude, because he hit that thing like times while sitting there talking to him, and this is like in a matter of like 10 minutes. It's like
so maybe 15 minutes back. You talked to some guy who had an epiphany while talking to you, and I hit a bird.
I was like, dude, all right, well, spread your message, I guess, and you have a good one.
Like, keep up, bro. I'm not sticking around for this one.
Yeah.
See, it must have worked though, because now you're sitting here talking to me with a tinfoil hat on. So, and you obviously spent time to make that. Back to the tinfoil part, though. You should make your own line of clothing and accessories of tinfoil. Just
that would
make
be
it
so uncomfortable, dude.
I mean, is fashion comfort anyway? I mean, look at women stuffed in these tiny little pieces of clothing
these days, dude. Like, we're spoiled, dude. This is a spoiled society, man.
Of course we're spoiled, because we're smart enough to make shit and not have to suffer.
Right. But at the same time, some of the things we make causes us to suffer long term.
Dude, one of my buddies,
global warming.
One of my buddies, Vinny, is so into this flat Earth stuff. It's so funny.
I think global warming is real, but
global warming is real. Al Gore, smart man, dude. How does nobody believe this guy?
I don't even think it's a conspiracy at this point, or even a theory. It's like,
not. Hey, look, shit's going wrong.
It's progressively gotten hotter.
Damn right it has. Shit's going wrong.
I don't know. Has the Earth done that before? I'm sure. Maybe when the dinosaurs went extinct. Oh yeah, and I'm sure they were okay after that. Yes, it's something to be concerned about, people.
I mean, giant rocks falling from the sky is something to be concerned about in my book. I don't know.
I've always had that thought, dude. Be like riding down the road and just asteroid dead.
Have you seen the video? It was like It was like 2014 or 2016 in Russia. It's like
it was so freaking huge.
Did you see that shit though? The video of it? Because apparently in Russia, like I even think we talked about this maybe on one of our other episodes, but in Russia apparently like auto fraud, like auto insurance fraud is huge, so a lot of people drive with dash cams and stuff like that. And there's this fucking guy driving down the road, and all of a sudden you see like looks like Superman flying in through the fucking atmosphere, coming from the sky, and like he just continues to drive nice and slow, normal pace. Like I would have stopped and like fucking veered off and I don't know.
I would have stopped, got out of my car, pulled my phone out, like, dude, check this crap out! Like, crap, there's a freaking asteroid coming! I'm gonna die! But I would have hyped it up at least, and then uploaded it immediately.
What do you think, though? What do you think when you see that flying at you? Like, there's nothing.
Am I gonna live when that hits? I mean, that's gonna be my thought. Like,
no, obviously not.
Yeah,
I think it was the size of like an SUV or something like that.
So, I read the Book of Revelations years ago, years and years, and
disclaimer for religious stuff.
Yeah, I'm a Christian, and so you
whatever the fuck I want to be.
Don't like it? Change the channel, bitch. Anyways, long story short, I had this dream, and it was just the strangest dream, man. And it was after a night of finishing the Book of Revelations, and it's a really intriguing book. It's like one of the most controversial books in the Holy Bible.
Was it like the last discovered one or something?
Well, it's not everybody accepts it.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty controversial still. Like, you can look up information about the Book of Revelations.
I already have. I mean, to an extent. I mean, I've also like they reference it a lot in Ancient Aliens, and I've watched all that stuff. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know if it was just the influence from just finishing that and having some kind of images in my head from reading the descriptions in the book. But I had this dream where I'm standing in front of an ocean that's raging, dude, and there's like these black and sharp rocks sticking out of the ocean, like just like some apocalyptic looking settings, dude.
You've told me about this shit a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm not bullcrap. I can remember this very detailed. I was barefoot. That's how detailed I remember this. I was barefoot walking on these black smooth rocks, and then there was the raging ocean, and there was like sharp black rocks sticking up out of the ocean, and I look up into the sky and I see an asteroid coming, and it does. It like screamed me, dude. Like it's like aiming for me, and it hits me. And the moment this freaking asteroid hits me, or a meteor, whatever you want to call it. No, dude. I freaking shot up into the sky, dude. I shot up into this. I'm not even lying, dude. I shot up into the sky.
Superman, dude, and just flew away and said, "Fuck Earth."
Some people can go, "Oh yeah, that thing hit you so freaking hard that it knocked your crap all the way up in the sky." So yeah, but there were other people up there dressed normally, just like I was. Just normal clothes. And
the aliens, they picked you up
in the sky. And that was the end of the dream. I thought, a normal dream for me would be like, I don't really get to see the ending.
You should go see a therapist, see what they say about
it. Therapist. Do they really help? That's another conspiracy.
I don't know. I feel like this podcast is my therapist. I can just talk about my nonsense shit on here, and people listen to me and talk to me about it.
We support nonsense. Tell us y'all's nonsense, man. We want to hear some like some ridiculous things y'all have done growing up. Like, we don't want to hear that you like beat up an old lady or nothing like that. But we would love it.
What the fuck? Why would you even bring that up? That's
well, I just don't want to. I don't want to catch those kind of stories coming in and then have to filter through all that crap. But give us good stories, like just dumb things you did as a kid. You know what I mean? Growing up, what?
Yeah.
Everybody
did dumb shit when they were a kid.
Yeah, just tell us something. And make sure it's pretty crazy, because that's the only thing we're really interested in hearing. Something that's wild. And I'm sure if you listen to our last episode, you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. It involves Ziploc bags and dunking the dookie.
Basically, I'm an NBA pro.
Yeah, I'm gonna come up with an acronym for that.
With my butt.
Yeah, and you're gonna get that plaque, dude. It's gonna be a plaque. You just like.
No, I'm gonna get a plaque for that shit.
I'm gonna put a plaque. I'm gonna make a plaque, dude. I'm gonna get a plaque, and it's gonna be like you squatting over a box of Ziplocs, dude.
That's pretty good. All right, I expect that.
No, yeah. You think I'm kidding, man?
I don't.
The abandoned factory or house or whatever scary location would come up. I'm serious about that. I'm gonna talk into it, man. I'm going to talk into it.
Not doing it. I'm not doing no scary shit. I don't fuck with ghosts and stuff.
Y'all email him and tell him to, put in a chump for doing
that. Everybody needs to understand that you don't fuck with forces unknown. They fuck with you.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
I don't want to do it. Good. All right. So simulation theory, interesting. I will say. What else have you found in the?
Well, I mean, the simulation theory is. It's a pretty short idea in the sense of it's just.
Sense as conspiracies, you mean?
Well, I mean, as far as they go with the conspiracy is to say that we're in a simulation, and what created that simulation is either, like a higher force of, being, or a computer itself, like a supercomputer of some kind.
Or an alien.
Like we are computer program people. But
it's aliens.
That simulation theory made me think about like just other things, like
aliens.
Just like radio signals. So we send signals to the sky all the time, right? We have signals going through our house right now, Wi-Fi signals, right? And we talked about how they can image your house through Wi-Fi signals, right?
Yeah, that's kind of bullshit, but what are you gonna do? It's like sonar for the air.
But in your brain works off electrical impulses, correct?
Yeah.
So, I mean, theoretically, couldn't you devise something that you could send signals that a brain could pick up, maybe?
I mean, I wouldn't see why that's incorrect, but that would
pick up the signals, but maybe interfere with the signals the brain's trying to send instead.
Well, what gets me is that like electricity is like the foundation of everything that we need in society right now, essentially. But it's also the foundation of what makes our brain tick. Little electrical,
lightning bugs, dude. These things are cool, dude.
Like, used to catch shit out of those.
It's like, natural. That's as natural as light can get, I would say. Is a lightning bug or the sun itself.
Yeah, I would agree.
Imagine like you can get like this amazing tan if you just got enough lightning bugs.
That's how you get glow in the dark shit. Just take a bunch of them and smash them on your face.
Yeah, there you go. Everybody try that. Go to raves, get you a bunch of glow bugs, and
Yeah,
go crazy.
you gotta be a fucked up person to do that, but I mean, hey.
Hey, you know.
All right. So I mean, with
You're
the flat
fucked up person. I'm a fucked up person. So yeah. Anyways, flat Earth.
Yeah, there's so much stuff, man.
You were saying something
more
about
dive in.
Vinny.
Yeah, dude. So my friend Vinny is so into this. He's like, I don't know if he's joking. I'm pretty sure he's joking, but I mean, he is like dead serious sometimes, and it's hard to tell. But he's like so flattered. He's got a pendant that he wears around his neck, a flat Earth pendant. I think it's a glass blown little pendant. It's funny as shit.
I bet you that's a conversation starter for sure.
It's funny as shit.
Can you identify like what the pendant represents just at a glance? Like if you were to walk by and go, "Oh, that's a flat earther guy." Like
I doubt like if you didn't have any knowledge of it, you'd be like, oh, that's a flat Earth. You know, even if you knew what that movement was. But you have to stop and look at it, you know, to really tell what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, but like,
so it's not for attention. He's literally doing it for support at that point. Like he's
I mean, he's a goofy guy. He's a good person though. But he talks to me about this stuff too, and it's funny. Like, there's something that a lot of flat earthers I've seen use as a piece of evidence against, you know, a globe Earth, and that is the reason why they can look at, and this is actually this guy named Mark Sargent, who's like one of the not, I don't want to say founding people, but he's definitely been the one in the spotlight the most for this, and was the subject of that Netflix documentary. But this guy, he's like 40 years old and lives with his mom, and it's just the biggest conspiracy theorist, like, apparently around right now. He's just always constantly thinking of something, talking about.
Why is it always somebody that like lives in their mom's basement, or lives with their mom, or like lives in a basement, or it's just always something weird like that? Though it's never a normal. It's not like some married guy who's working like 60 hours a week who believes it.
Because he's got to be working 60 hours a week. That's why.
It's yeah. I mean, if he was working 60 hours a week, he wouldn't be at his mom's house still. I can tell you that.
So with the plane flights, and there's apparently you can watch like live flight trackers and stuff online. Right. And in one of his you know, his rebuttals to, you know, the heliocentric model, as the flat earthers would say, is basically that you can hardly ever find or ever see at all flights that go, you know, on the back end of the globe. You know, they won't fly over certain vast expanses of ocean. And to be honest, you know, why would you? You know, if it's a matter of fuel and stuff like that. And back in the day, I'm sure that's exactly why. You know, you don't want to keep flying over the ocean without enough fuel. What are you gonna do? You're gonna crash. You're gonna die. Right. But like this other guy, ScimanDan. And I've really started to like a lot of his videos. I've watched a lot of his stuff. So ScimanDan, if you ever see my video, props to you, man. And you inspire me to do a lot of stuff. So thank you. But he brings a scientific view against these flat earthers, against people that are non-believers of true, solid scientific fact. That is
like what?
Like, for example, a lot of flat earthers tend to say, at least in some videos I've been seeing, is that clouds defy gravity, therefore it proves gravity doesn't exist. And there's a good ScimanDan video on that one. It's really funny because he'll do like video replies to some of these people that have done videos saying the Earth is flat. And then they'll do them back. It's actually quite comical, and he takes it in such a serious but humorous tone that he's very enjoyable to watch. Right. So I recommend his stuff. I mean, I'll even put his in the description, his link to his YouTube page and stuff like that. He's got a lot of awesome videos. I don't know anything really about him past, like, I don't know if he's got any, you know.
Is it more like satire style?
No, it's very, it's like you could tell he's got he's got education behind this and stuff like that. I don't know his credentials or anything like that, if he's had education here, but I mean, he definitely seems like he knows what he's talking about. And a lot of the stuff he does, all the stuff that I've seen him say in any of the videos is true fact, because I like to look these things up after I read something. I don't take everything I see on the internet for what it's thrown out there as.
We could talk about the cloud theory though.
Well, Simon. Well, we'll get on that in a minute. But ScimanDan even says like he does a rebuttal to this Mark Sargent guy, saying that he doesn't see any flights going over these expanses or certain parts of the Earth because he's saying it's because the Earth is flat. You'll always see a lot of layover on big landmass areas, which to me makes fucking sense. But then ScimanDan's like, he looks up flights right there on his video, immediately showing it, and finds nonstop flights from like Japan to California. Obviously that proves right there that you're going around the globe if it's from Japan to California over there. That's the back way.
Right.
It's just silly. I don't know, man.
I would really love to believe it. You know what I mean? I would love to.
Why? Don't say that. You're gonna inspire them. No. Bad.
Hold on, guys. Hold on.
He's wearing a tinfoil hat. Obviously, he's already inspired.
All right, so now I can absorb this. The hat's coming off, y'all. Hey, don't forget.
Let me see underneath that. No, it really was all tinfoil.
Yeah, no, it really is. You want to check it out? There's a little N on the front of it.
Huh. You have time on your hands.
Oh, dude, I do. Right now, my kids are at their mom's house in Virginia for the summer, so
you got all the time in your world to make all the tinfoil accessories.
Arts and crafts, and podcasts. It is.
I don't know about you, but I've been having a lot of fun with these podcasts. I know it does take time out of our day, and it's almost like another job, it seems like. But at the end of the day, I enjoy this. I get support from my family and my friends. Our third video had so many views. I was very surprised. We're new at this, so by no means do I look at myself as seasoned or a pro at any of this. So any feedback anybody can throw at us for this would be gladly appreciated. But I'm stoked for this. We've got some traction. We're gaining ground, and I want to continue to make videos for people. If they at least want to hear us out, if there's somebody out there that would enjoy hearing what we talk about, how we talk about it, or at least kill some time in your day to make your day seem a little bit more enjoyable, I'm going to keep doing this.
Right on, man. I'm on board with that because I have a good time just sitting here chatting, and even if we don't really make much progress in the conspiracy theory realm, it just gives us room for part 3 and part 4.
This stuff really interests me. We'll make as many conspiracy theory parts as we have to, and it's not even for the views and likes or anything like that. Obviously, those are nice, but we're doing this because this is stuff we care about. That it interests me. It thoroughly interests me. I can't really have too many conversations with too many people in my days that are somewhat educated. Those are very far and few between.
Yeah, well, yeah, different places in society. Like I know where you work. I'm not gonna say it, but knowing where you work, it's easy to run into stupidity. Like
it's easy
that's a collection of like everybody.
I don't want to say so much stupidity because I like to think that people have the potential inside them, but I want to say there's a lot of ignorance flowing in the streets.
I mean, I feel pretty stupid most of the times.
There's a lot of ignorance flowing around, but so yeah, man, ScimanDan, cool guy.
We'll throw a link up for his channel. I'm guessing he has a YouTube channel.
Yeah, dude, he's got some really cool videos. Like he's like, I don't know, in a way, like I like how he explains things and how he goes about it. Just like I like Bill Nye. I've always liked Bill Nye when I was a kid. Shit.
If you guys want to know more about Dan, go ahead and check out the links we'll throw in the description.
Yeah, for sure. But like I was saying, I love Bill Nye, and I like how Bill Nye had that Netflix series, Bill Nye Saves the World. It was like reliving my youth. That shit was awesome. Dude's a cool guy.
If Bill Nye ran for president, would you go vote?
Hell yeah, I would vote. I would become a registered voter. And I'm throwing this. I guess I'll say this. I am not a registered voter. Never tried. Never have been. It was just not something that I wanted to get into. It wasn't anything that interests me because I truly don't think. And I know people will lash back at me about this, but I don't think my voice per se matters on the grand scale. Maybe I can make an impact or a difference. Maybe doing this will help me. But I just never took it upon myself to sign up to vote. So I mean,
when you don't ever really get any kind of schooling in politics, or you don't take it upon yourself to do a lot of research in politics, and you try to figure out what the different sides are, whether you even need to be part of any of those sides. It's a really messy field, dude. So it's pretty easy to avoid it.
That's kind of what I've always thought about. Just avoid it. Maybe good. Doesn't matter.
Don't worry about that. All right, Trump's the president, and he'll be the president until the next president, and that president won't be no better than any other president, and then we'll just have a bunch of average presidents at this point.
So you're saying we're fucked, essentially?
I'm saying that theoretically, the presidencies won't get any better. I think that it would just be the same crap with a different spin. It's
that's politics.
Yeah. It's all about dollars, man. Unfortunately, it really falls down to dollars for people. They get people.
Money runs the world.
That's like a theory in itself. Is running the world, one world government, the Illuminati. I think that's something that's really interesting because the Illuminati, some people even try to tie it into religion at many different aspects of it, include like the Freemasonry. Like
it's a very unknown society.
I actually looked into joining a Freemason club, I guess you'd call it. I didn't obviously join because I wouldn't be talking about it, I'm pretty sure. But long story short, I did talk to somebody, and they were, you told me what day the meetings were, and they, told me to come check it out, see if it's something I was interested in. And I listened to different, like rules for like joining this society, and that like you have to believe in a higher power. You cannot be atheist and be a Freemason.
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. But so it's like they tie religion in at points because like Freemasons have many times been associated in conspiracy theory world with
so
the Illuminati. Like the Illuminati and Freemasons are like hand-in-hand organizations as far as conspiracy goes.
Very much so. I would agree.
Like I've seen some crazy things about the Illuminati, like videos of them doing like occult sacrificing supposedly, and like there's other things that have gone on that people had said it was part of it. Like these little festivals they have, like these secret festivals, like really super famous and powerful people go and like burn things, and it's
burn things.
Well, I mean, I don't know the details. I've never.
Yeah, let's go burn shit, man.
Let's go burn it all. Burn the whole world.
What the fuck? That's people are ridiculous.
I think the Illuminati is probably the biggest conspiracy theory ever.
The Illuminati?
Yeah.
I think aliens is bigger than the Illuminati. I mean, come on. Like, I mean, what else? Like, what else can you take?
Aliens are
let's just say North Korea launched, 20 nukes at other countries tomorrow. But then right after that, a huge spaceship comes from space. What are people going to be talking about? What do you think people are going to be like, man, did you hear about those nukes the other day? It's like, dude, a fucking spaceship came from the sky.
I think it'd be like a war broke out.
I mean, they're probably coming to see if everybody's all right. Or like, man, you're still alive.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that if somebody showed up after we were nuking each other, they're not here to, be nice.
There's reports of nuclear silos and facilities that have had weird interactions with unidentified flying objects and things like that, especially during like the Cold War. There's accounts during the Vietnam War. There's accounts actually during the Vietnam War. I remember reading about a squadron of people was fighting the Vietnamese, and they were pinned down, and then like this crazy light came in the sky, and it was this big green beam went over them. It scared the shit out of all the Vietnamese around, so they ran away. But they ended up surviving, getting out. But everybody in that squad pretty much died of like radiation poisoning and stuff like that. So like, that's what I'm saying. Like, where does this stuff come from? Like, there is a lot of accounts, a lot of stuff that obviously I know the military knows. Obviously, they've got the technology and they're in these areas that are out of the civilian view. So when you're flying around in space with all these satellites and all this other crap looking around, like something's going to be seen.
Right.
Like, I'm sure astronauts on the ISS have seen some crazy shit out there. Like, there's even talks that there's like deleted, pieces from the Apollo landing on the moon that
I was just reading something about that. They were talking about like missing footage from the moon landings.
Maybe not so much missing. Well, I've heard about the missing video footage, but there's also like missing like audio excerpts from
apparently NASA confirmed like in the last couple of days that there is no missing. Like they didn't lose any footage. Basically, the actual original footage was bought in like a government surplus sale for like $200 something a long time ago, and that's actually being auctioned off very soon.
The original Apollo footage?
The original moon landing footage, yeah.
Why would that just get auctioned off in some fucking military? Wouldn't that go in the museum?
You would think, but somebody obtained it through some kind of government surplus sale.
They lucked the fuck out.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I wouldn't even auction that off. Dude. That'd be
I'll give you $200 for it, dude. Whoever.
Yeah, I'd be giving that to my grandchildren. This is like something epic. This is just on another level of humanity. But like people thinking the moon landing was fake.
Why do we launch so much shit into the sky if the moon landing's fake? Why are we launching all these rockets in the sky?
All that money for nothing.
They're hitting this so-called dome above my head. Why the fuck are we launching shit up there? Where does it come down? Is that another conspiracy that there's like they know where all these things land or what they're hitting up in the sky? So
right, like
they're not telling us
a location for skyscraper.
There's actually a dead zone in the ocean where they land satellites and shit like that. They've been for the past like 60, 70 years or some shit. I think it's like in the void.
They normally retrieve them though.
No, they're sitting at the bottom of the ocean. There's like there's like 70 or 80 satellites or something chilling down there. I think the Mir space station's also in that area. That dropped in like the late 90s.
I wonder if it's legal to like boat out there and like try to retrieve
I don't know. It's like a so-called dead piece of ocean, but I think it's like in the void between Australia, like the States, and then something else. I'm not too familiar with that point on the globe here, but there's a bunch of dead satellites out there. Just type in on Google or whatever. Just type in like satellite graveyard. There is. I'm not even kidding. Like there's a bunch. I think most of them are from Russia too.
I mean, satellites are very expensive, so
yeah.
I think that there may be something of value in them.
I mean, just in historical nature alone, but I would think personally because I like history and I like learning from the past. But I'm sure there's a lot of precious metals and stuff on those.
Yeah, so you hear about this huge golden, or I'm not sure if it's mostly gold or if it was mostly nickel. But basically NASA's planning on like going to study this space rock or whatever and try to eventually farm it. And
that's smart. That's the next step in.
They're talking about like if they were to like be able to cash in this space rock that's in outer space they've known about for a long time, it could possibly crash the global market. Like that's how valuable it is.
Damn.
Our global market's like $7.5 trillion, and this thing is worth like 700. I can't even say the name because I don't even know what that number is, but it's a huge number. What's that?
Quintillion.
I think it was. I don't even think it was that. It was something. I've never even heard of it, dude. But
There's no. I looked up a picture on. I just found the Google image for where that spacecraft cemetery is. It looks like it's, I don't know, maybe a fifth the way up from Antarctica, in between Australia and South America, like dead center in the middle there. But like, there's apparently a bunch of great or satellites that they've been dropping there for a long time now.
Right. It seems like a waste of material just to drop them.
I mean, where else are you gonna leave the stuff?
I mean, take them back, recycle them, rebuild new satellites with the parts.
I mean, I think the only space company that's actually done that is SpaceX.
Well, I mean, they're reusing rockets, not satellites.
I mean, it's still a reusing something.
Right. I mean, well, that's the point, though. Is like, why don't they reuse that crap? I mean, I'm sure the satellites are millions of dollars.
Yeah, it's actually the spacecraft cemetery. It says, I'm on Wikipedia right now. It says it's formally known as the South Pacific Ocean Uninhabited Area. It's southeast of New Zealand. That's apparently the best.
That's a big waste. Shame on y'all. Y'all should do something about that.
There's, I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of shit out there from what this says. Yeah, the Mir space station is out there, and 6 Soviet stations are among those that have been ditched there. See?
Have you ever heard of the reptilian theory?
Oh my god.
Of ridiculous theories, that is up there in the charts.
It's the reptilian theory. I mean, if you believe in aliens, I mean, yeah, and I do. I feel like it has a tad bit more credence than some other shit. So I don't want to say it's impossible, because, who knows what technology some other race may have. But
basically, people believe that there's these secret reptilian humans, or species that look like humans living on Earth and blending with our people, and
for sure.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah. Holy shit! 263 spacecraft were disposed there between 1971 and 2016.
Man, let's go get it, man. It's like money sitting in the ocean to me.
I'm sure there's some international things that say we can't go touch it.
Yeah,
it's just there's did you know that
I'm sure they're being pretty lame about it.
Dude, did you know there's like a 52 country treaty saying that nobody will pretty much inhabit Antarctica or use it for, bad purposes and per se, not being.
I bet Russia has an entire base there already.
I mean, from what I remember, I could have sworn that I've read documents and things of Germany during World War II actually had some form of base in Antarctica, which I don't think is totally impossible, because shit, Germans are very secretive.
We occupying the hell out of Alaska with people, just regular people going to live, not even military installations.
I mean, yeah, Antarctica is still way more.
Oh, obviously, it's a much different, but it's progressing into that tundra.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's not far off, but I mean, it's just way more harsh in the Antarctic region. Can't say for sure, because I've never been there. Maybe that's another conspiracy right there. All the books I've been reading that Antarctica's cold. So wrong. Maybe it's just this nice fucking beautiful beach that everybody's sitting out there living nice and easy. All these people that we think died, no, they just fucking went to Antarctica.
No, that's where they're getting all this uranium from.
Hey, who knows? There could be a bunch of crazy shit. There could be a lost civilization buried in the ice of Antarctica, and we would never know. Not until we melt this planet down, which we're already doing a very good job at.
And that goes back to that theory I was telling you about, with this supreme organization that is just breakaway of civilization. Yeah. But yeah. I think that if the Illuminati were a thing, that would be what that was.
The Illuminationati.
Yeah, the Illuminationati. Dude, I love it. That's perfect. The Illuminationati. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
Copyright that bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the flat earthers in general, all this shit kind of all melds into one thing. Just people that like conspiracies are gonna like conspiracies, man. You can make a
I
conspiracy.
like them. I mean, even if they are
I do too. They're interesting.
I mean, laughable conspiracies are still entertainment, in my opinion.
I mean, this is laughable entertainment because it's sad, but I mean, it's entertainment nonetheless.
Right. What you got up there in the background? That
What's that?
C3PO I'm seeing there.
Hell yeah! It's a '90s Kenner model C3PO. This bitch is dope. I love this thing. Boom.
Check that out.
It's not the original like late '70s, early '80s one, but it's a '90s remake. One of it. You can't really see too well because the glare from the computer. But he is original in pretty damn good condition, I'd say too. And it's the most important name though in the Star Wars toys world, in my opinion. It's Kenner. They took on Star Wars toys before even Hasbro. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, before. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was Hasbro. Don't quote me on that.
We don't know nothing.
No, like I stated, I am no expert, by no means an expert on any of this shit. I just do my own research. If I'm wrong, call me out. I'll say I was wrong. I'm man enough to admit it.
So what like, in all seriousness, like, if there is any theory you could believe out there, which one would it be?
Aliens. I believe in motherfucking aliens. They're real. I don't care what you say.
Do you think they help us build the pyramids and all that, like the ancient
Who knows?
theorists?
I mean, those things are perfectly in line with Orion's belt. Tell me how they did that. However many thousands of years ago they did.
I mean, there were a lot of different civilizations that studied the stars, though.
And all those civilizations that did study the stars.
I mean, you think about it. You're a human staying on this planet Earth, and at that time, there's no technology. There's no like Xbox or nothing. It's like, oh yes, check that out. They used to make these little, like the Mayans used to make these like little pools where they fill up with water, so at nighttime that they could like look at the pool and see the reflection of the stars, so they didn't have to like look up and see it.
I did not know that. That is super smart.
Yeah.
That's a free mirror right there.
Yeah, no, I mean, granted, it's backwards, isn't it, though, that way? That'll make it a little harder to interpret.
Why does it matter anyway?
All right.
But no, all the civilizations, ancient civilizations that did reference the stars and pay attention to the skies usually were ones that did well, left some form of legacy, and had advanced things for their time.
This is true. Like the Egyptians, I would say, like the Mayans. And
I mean, those are two perfect examples. Like, well, here's one thing. So you know what both of those...
That dude talking about the weed, though? Like, Jesus be a weed.
Tell me this, though. There's two things that those two civilizations that you just mentioned, though, the Mayans and the ancient Egyptians, they had knowledge of something that they both used. They're thousands of miles apart, and their civilizations were going on at different times in
architecture were
exactly in architecture. So they obviously both knew that temples were a good structure to build, like triangular temples,
like columns in general.
Yeah, but so they both had knowledge of the keystone. So the keystone is that one stone that goes in the middle of your arch. So if you have like an archway going there, that one stone that sits in the middle that's slightly V-shaped,
right?
That's the keystone. That's what holds that whole thing together. You take the keystone, coming down.
Right.
They both had knowledge of that in their architecture.
So you reckon they use it for like booby traps or something in pyramids or whatever?
No, I mean that's what they used to make sure they could make these structures and stuff like that. And the keystone was a really strong, a good invention. But I mean, how did both of these civilizations, thousands of miles apart, have knowledge of something like that? I mean, it's just not something you stumble across.
Well, I mean, you have to consider that. Not to debunk it by any means, but you have to consider that humans learn on a pretty our scales for learning aren't tipped way out of proportion. Like where one civilization is going to thrive, another one's probably going to thrive too, and because humans figure things out. So like we have brains that process the information. So I could see us like not speaking the same languages or not being from the same places and still building the same things. I mean,
yeah, I could see that these days since there's a lot more, I don't know, structure to society. But back then,
like wagons and chariots and simple things like that. Like it was just everywhere. Everybody had those things. It wasn't just one place or another.
Yeah, I mean, look at it this way though: the ancient Chinese are the first ones to invent gunpowder and spread that knowledge around.
Yeah.
Why didn't anyone else discover gunpowder?
I got some good fireworks, dude. I've seen this thing they like light up, and it's huge though. Like it's like a multi-man operation to light this giant disc. And this thing like launches up in the air, and it goes so freaking high. And you have to do it like during the day because it's not really a firework. It just spins and it's huge, and it makes like it looks like like a DNA strand, helix or whatever going up into the sky.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. And then it parachutes down. I was like, oh my God, dude, that thing's going to come down. And that thing was huge by the looks of it on the ground. But then like a chute deployed all of a sudden. I was like, oh, okay.
You're like, damn.
I thought about it. Okay.
It's not nearly as entertaining though.
Yeah. No, it'd have been better if that chute failed. Yeah. As long as nobody gets hurt, of course. Just want to see the thing break. But that was, hey, I want to, before I forget it again. Okay. So Area 51.
Oh, okay.
So
I can take it. I love my aliens.
Yeah. There's this thing going around where they're talking about like Rush Area 51. Have you heard of this?
Oh yes, I have. I saw it as a related thing, like in one of my searches on YouTube.
It's called like there's like 200,000 people who said they're going.
All I gotta say is, if you storm Area 51,
it's got to be a joke though.
They're gonna shoot you. They're gonna shoot you.
The guy, the guy organizing it can't even be serious. I mean, it's.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it says any trespassers can be shot on site around that place. I've seen so many different documentaries.
Yeah, and the use of lethal force is a thing there. So
no, it really is. But get this, I know it'd be a really bad thing for the government and the military if they just shot dead 2,000 people Russian Area 51.
200,000 people have signed up.
Yeah, but how many of those people are actually going to show up and risk their life?
And then there's 200,000 people who said maybe, like maybe they're going. So potentially.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, in all reality, that's why bombs were made. But not saying we're going to bomb our own people. But it would just be a bad thing if there had to be fatalities from something like this, just because some people have to be dumb and go betray.
Spooky event.
I mean, I want to know what's in there too, but you're not going to see my ass storm it.
And that was the thing, is that their thing is they want to storm it to like find alien life, like extraterrestrial life. Like that was like the whole purpose of it. It was like, to like rescue them, I guess, in a sense.
Rescue them. If anything, we hope they rescue us. We're fucking
the government's probably protecting us from them. They got under lock and key, man. I mean, that'd be my best guess. I mean, humans are very survival instinct driven creatures, so. Yeah, we're not going to take a chance on something we can't trust.
I've heard some like documentaries and stuff like that actually on different species of aliens that apparently
is the talls and the shorts.
Well, the grays being one of them. There's also this other like mantis looking one, looks like a giant like praying mantis, like some insect species.
Yeah.
But apparently we work in tandem with them. Like we work together, and so I mean, and that'd be cool, if that's true. So I'd like to think it is, but at the same time,
Mantis
to find my ass Russian Area 51 because they're gonna shoot my ass.
I would love to see like a concept for this mantis creature. Do you have any links you can send me?
Yeah, I can probably send you some. They're pretty simple. You just type in like mantis.
We're gonna include a link for this mantis creature in the description too.
And he's also going to actually put he's going to put the Amazon ad out there too for his tinfoil hat collection.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if you make
it's
a
not too bad
tinfoil,
as a hat, but like
if you make a tinfoil
anything else
fedora,
would probably be terrible.
if you make a tinfoil fedora and send it to me, I'll wear it on one of
Yeah, I
the.
will make you a tinfoil fedora. I probably will buy a real fedora to help me with modeling. Even though I didn't do that with this one, this was like completely handcrafted. I just,
Handcraft
I took a piece of aluminum foil and I put it on my head and I pushed it down and then I cut it into a bowl and I did artsy crafty, artsy fartsy.
crafted it off your head. You made your head the mannequin.
Yeah. But it's
Oh,
you want that hat, it could be yours. I can get you a fedora, John. And I'm gonna make like a cat in the hat version of it too.
Oh fuck yeah! I'll wear it. Probably
Yeah.
top over, but I'll wear it.
And then out of the hat, I'll pull out all conspiracies.
And have little notes in there, little white notes, and just tip the hat over, pull it out, put it back on.
Dude, I've seen like some crazy like pictures, like things that people have found in like the internet's explanation of them, and some of the things you see, like look up like a spider with a fungal infection. It looks like an alien spider, dude. It looks like some alien spiders.
I don't like spiders. I like aliens, but not spiders.
It's kind of futuristic looking, even.
Or poisonous.
Like you can't really tell where the mouth is, though. That's how weird it looks.
See, I'm good. If I don't know where the mouth is, I don't know which way to avoid getting attacked by it. So I'm good.
Right. Well, what did you have anything else that you wanted to put on the flat earther subject?
Oh, there's this other guy. I've actually been watching a lot of his stuff too. This guy's name is Chris UK. He is by far, I think, the. I don't know. I don't want to rag on the guy, but I mean, he just seems like he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about at all. He's trying to use like this point of view theory to prove like that the Earth is flat. And what it comes down to is like essentially as he's describing his theory on point of view, he's basically proving that the Earth is round. Because he's saying like on a flat surface, the point of view would not change for something like I have to watch it again. I watched it twice actually. I gotta watch it.
Like
the details.
What about the stars? Like
that's what I'm saying. I mean, he references all that stuff too, but he drew and he created like on one of his videos and stuff like that. He took like a piece of wood that has like a picture frame on the end of it, glued up, standing up, and on the other end of the board is just a little toy figure sitting there, like staring out of it, and he's using that as like a reference point. It just doesn't make any fucking sense to me. And ScimanDan, again, back to him, he actually does a video because that's where like I was watching a ScimanDan video, then I saw this Chris UK stuff on there, so it just kind of was like a big chain. And I've just been diving down that rabbit hole, and I'm going deep. I've been going so deep.
John likes to go deep. He's a tongue puncher.
Got to tongue punch all the fart boxes.
Yeah, Fart Box City. We're the Fart Box Boys on Xbox.
This guy though, Chris UK. I mean, apparently he's got. Apparently he's a scientist. I don't know any of his credentials behind that, but through his own description, he's a scientist and he's got a degree in astronomy, physics, and mathematics.
Wow.
And he says all these numbers don't add up to a heliocentric model of the universe and stuff like that. He actually started this website called flatearthlunacy.com, and that's exactly what it is. Like, he couldn't have picked a better name to make his stuff sound stupid.
Right. I mean, some people are brand that way, though. You know what I mean? Like, some people are intentionally being like that.
Maybe. I don't think he's, savvy enough to kind of flip that on himself. But his website's interesting. There's just so much stuff on there. And that's just more that I can get into. And even another episode, because we don't have to do another conspiracy theory episode.
Nah.
But we can definitely talk about conspiracies.
We're going to try to do a live stream on one of the platforms soon.
We want to start live streaming on either Twitch or maybe even here on YouTube. Just get them or Facebook. I mean, any of the platforms that have a good way to do it. But we want we want to see if we can bring, you know, the pizzazz live to you guys instead of having to record it and stuff like that too, because most these recordings are.
We want to be able to interact with you. More importantly, I want to be able to ask you guys something and get some input, and then maybe feed off that input kind of deal. You know, I want to kind of get to know people who are listening to us, man. You know?
Yeah, I'll talk to them
to see if they're as crazy or stupid as us.
I'm sure. I mean, I'm nothing special about me.
And pretty average Joe. Well, average John there, and I'm an average Brett. So, but I'm pretty sure that's about all we have for the night.
Yeah, I think we're getting about to the end of our content here. I mean, I've got some more I can dabble on here and stuff like that too, but let's not keep them going too long. I'd say we're at a good point, good ending point.
It's been a long day. It's been a long week. Been working hard. We're gonna try to, like I said, do that live stream, and we'll get more information about dates and time, and let you guys know where to find that as well. We'll include a follow-up video with some links for it to make it nice and easy to find.
All right, guys. If you got anything, drop some comments. Let us know what you like, what you want to hear. Give us some ideas for another episode, something like that. But yeah, we'd love to hear from you. All right, guys. Have a good night.